Hello. Okay. So hey everyone, and in this video we are going to learn how we can deploy our MERN stack projects for free. That is the complete front end as well as the back end. So from previous videos, some people actually had a doubt that how exactly can you upload the front end as well as the back end. So I'm gonna clear that today, and we have a lot of free services for that for some limited amount of usage definitely. But for people who just want to create a project and just want to deploy it for showcasing it to someone, if you are a college student or if you are just building a project for your own experience, definitely you need some free platforms where you can just save your project. So for those, I'm gonna help you. And again, if you want something better, it's always to go for Amazon Web Services if you want complete front end and back end hosting, but it's something paid. You also get AWS for free, but you have to add your credit card, and most people don't have supported ones. So you get 1 year of AWS subscription for free with the credit card, but yeah, still you don't have, suppose you don't have credit card, you're just a normal student. So for understanding your case, I've simply decided that I'm going to use the simplest method, which I have personally followed from past few years, and I usually follow this approach, so I'm going to tell that. Okay, so first of all, let me just explain you what is our project. So let's see what is exactly our project. So I've just created a very basic project which has a front end and has a back end. Okay, this can be your project also. You might have created some other projects in React.js and backend in Node.js Express. So it's similar to that. I've just created the basic project, a very basic project. So I'll just show you what's the exact project, and you'll understand how exactly it works. So let's talk about the backend part first. So in the backend, what I've done is I've simply first of all created a user schema which has name, email, age, password, right? So this is how the user would be stored in MongoDB. I have connected my MongoDB database, and all the environment variables are actually inside this. Okay, so I hope you know how things work in MERN stack, because I can't repeat very basic things. But yeah, this is how this is my MongoDB URL which I have taken from MongoDB Atlas, right? So you can actually refer my previous projects available in the playlist of 3x dev. You can check out the channel Geeks4Geeks development. There you would find how like all the playlists, how actually these projects work, how previous projects have been created. So we actually created a movie booking app, we created a fitness app, and we created a blog app. So in all these three, we created things from scratch, and you can follow that approach if you don't know the exact usage, how to just create a full stack application. So you can watch those videos. But right now I'm assuming that you have created an application and you want to deploy it. Okay, that's the case. So you can see that here are my some env variables. So this is going to be very important, because wherever is are you hosting your backend, you have to add your env. Okay, so right now you can assume that this is our backend, and you can see we have the env file, and it has our environment variable, that is the MongoDB URL which I have taken from MongoDB Atlas website. Okay, so here again, if I show you my index.js, you can see it's very simple. First of all, I've shown you my user schema. So you can see I've taken name, email, age, password. That's how the user would be saved. Now let's come to index.js. So you can see in index.js, I'm using this course. Okay, inside course, I've simply said that only this front end URL can access my backend. Okay, so that's what it says. And what else? You can see I'm also using db file which contains our database initialization. Okay, then you can see we are also using .env config everywhere, because we are using env file. So for understanding that, for opening that, we need the .env config, and rest you can see this is just the test API. And after that, you can see we have created the user route. So if someone calls the slash user, after this we have the slash user routes. Okay, so you can see inside this user we have two things. First of all, how to register a user. I've created a very basic API. You can see it's using the user schema. Okay, it has name, email, age, password, and I'm just saving the password in hash format. Actually, I don't need to hash the password here. My password was hashed in the schema itself. Okay, so I'll just pass the password as it is. Those who don't know hashing, please watch the tutorials, because this is something very basic. Okay, so I'm just saving the name, email, age, password. Whenever these details are going to be saved, the MongoDB would simply go to the schema and would check for all the details. All the details fine, then the password is converted into hash format. Password is converted, then you're just exporting the schema, that means saving the schema. Fine, so that's how data would be saved, and I'll show you how things work later on. But right now you can see this is a very basic register API. Okay, it's done. After that, you're just getting all the users. Okay, so this is the second API, very basic application for the backend part. Okay, so this is the backend. I hope you understood everything, because this is very basic backend, and I hope you have worked on these kind of projects in MERN stack. Okay, so this is the backend part. Now let's understand the front end part. So for the front end, I have used Next.js. So instead of this, you could have React.js also. Both are same. The deployment would be exactly same. No difference would be there. But right now we are using uh, Next.js, which is actually recommended against of React.js. Like if you are using normal React.js, npx create React app. Okay, if you were using that, now you must use create next app, because React.js is comparatively, like previously React.js was recommended, but now what happens is some people, actually the official website recommends Next.js. Okay, it's actually you can say a framework of React.js. Next.js it's itself a framework of React.js, but Next.js is the latest thing. Okay, latest thing, so you must follow Next.js. If you visit the website of React Dev, this is the official website of React.js. Here you can simply visit the website, and you can simply go to learn React, for example. Then you can go to installation, and here you would see that if I click on start new project, so you can see we get npx create next step. So official website itself tells us to use Next.js. Instead of that, we have a lot of different options also, Gatsby and Remix. So you don't need to see that. You just gonna use now, instead of normal React.js, now you're going to use Next.js. If you weren't using, now you must use Next.js. Okay, so I'm assuming that we have created Next.js application, but similar to this, following approach is for all React.js frameworks. Whatever framework you are using, some people actually use Vite and whatever they want. So similar approach is there. Okay, so right now you can see we created a Next.js application, and it has src. Inside this, we just created a get users, which would fetch the get user API. You can see this is the get user API, and it would show us all the users. Okay, that's it. Similarly, we have the register API. So what it does is, this is our form, name, email, age, password. It's taking name, email, password. Whenever someone clicks on register, simply this data first of all would be filled. Okay, whenever you're typing things, after that you can see I'm calling the handle register function. So you can see that handle register simply creates the user. We just call the register API. Okay, so you can see this is everything which we had. Now one more thing, you can see the front end also has the env. So you can see for the env I'm using .env.local. In Next.js you have to write it this way. So you can see I've just simply given my env environment backend environment variable some name. So you can see next public backend API, and suppose my backend is running in localhost 8000 locally, but when you are hosting your backend somewhere, this URL would change. Similarly, if you're hosting your front end URL, you have to change the course policy here. Okay, right now you can see I'm saying only this front end URL can access my backend. Later on, if suppose you have hosted your front end in some URL, so you have to add your URL there. Okay, here. So that's what we're gonna do later on. But right now you can see this is the front end and backend. Let me just show you how it works. Okay, so I'll just start the backend, and I'll just type nodemon. Okay, so you might have different approach for starting backend. That's totally fine. Usually I think there is an approach for npm start, I think, for backend. I'm not really sure, but I usually use nodemon. Okay, so nodemon is the shortcut, and it just refreshes if you don't know. Okay, so you can see my backend is running. Now let me just start my front end. So I'll just start my front end here. So I'll just type open an integrated terminal, and I'll type npm runtime. That's how Next.js application starts. Okay, so now I'll show you. So guys, here you can see, you must always see .env local has been loaded. That means our backend URL, whatever you have added to the env, is now loaded, and this is your front end. Okay, so I'm just gonna show you the basic view of the front end. So I'll just say that, just first of all go to localhost 3000. Okay, so it would take some time. So you can see this was the home page. We didn't do anything for the home page, but for the users page. Okay, so for the register page. Okay, so if I go to register, okay, so if I go to register, I think the spelling, okay, it's actually register. Okay, if I go to the register page, you can see this was the register page. Here we have to simply add our details. So I would simply add my details, hj 20@gmail.com. Age is suppose 45. Password is suppose hj123. Okay, so if I click on register, you can see user created successfully. So what actually happens is our data would be saved into our database. Okay, Winky, hello, thank you sir for this video. Array, it's okay yaar. Like this video would be forever. So if someone is watching this in future also, they would really appreciate this one, because when I was a beginner, I really couldn't find how exactly to host things for free. Like you would find different kind of sessions which actually tell you to purchase this or that, but this is the complete session where you won't need any kind of money. Okay, you just need a laptop and an internet. Okay, that's how you would host things. Okay, so guys, this was the MongoDB Atlas database. I hope everyone knows about it. We were just using it to just save the data. Okay, so whatever data you store, it would be saved here, right? So I'm just gonna show you if my database is working properly. And here you can see, okay, actually I think the URL, I have to check the URL. Okay, I think there is some other URL which I'm using for the backend, from for the database. So you can see, okay, I'm actually using this blog one. Okay, anyways, your URL can be anything. Okay, any MongoDB URL, but right now let's assume that this is our MongoDB database, so I'm gonna use its URL. Okay, so just a minute. So I'll just build it. And by the way, MongoDB is also free. So yes, let's create this. Okay, stairs. Okay, this is a stair, this is a stair. And what? This is also stair. Verify. Okay, so I'll just set up the MongoDB also. You just need to create a database like this. If you don't know MongoDB, please watch how to create a MongoDB Atlas database. Or let me just show you. Okay, let me just show you. Okay, let me just show you how you exactly create it. Okay, anyways, because some people might not know how to create this MongoDB Atlas. So what you have to do is you have to simply visit MongoDB Atlas. Okay, just have to go here. Sir, did you try 75 days hard? अरे यार, अपना तो जिंदगी भर हार्ड चैलेंज चलता है. 75 days is just I would say, like, okay, it's a good thing to do, but 75 days के बाद क्या छोड़ दोगे? करना ही पड़ेगा ना. तो it's like 365 days forever hard challenge, right? बट या इन टर्म्स ऑफ फिटनेस आई थिंक, या अभी 2 महीने तो हो चुके हैं जिम जाते हुए, थोड़ा बहुत अपडेट आ चुका है मुझे. ठीक है, थोड़ी बहुत बॉडी बन गई है. देखते हैं 75 days तक वो भी चलाते हैं. Okay, so if those of you who don't know how to set up MongoDB, just go to MongoDB Atlas website. You would see a login page like this. It would take some time to show you the Google icon because right now you can see it's not highlighted. Some seconds would be actually required. So you can see mine is automatically logged in because I was previously working on it. But what you have to do is you would simply might have some other projects or you have to create a new project. So I would simply create a new project. Let me just name it as test crud. Okay, I'll just name it as test crud. And I am telling you this because you have to set permissions in MongoDB also. Okay, for the network things. Okay, very important. So that's how your basic database is here. You're just to create a database from here. Okay, your project has been created. Create a database, build a database. I'll choose the free one because this is totally free. Okay, and then everything is fine. You can choose the nearest location, it's preferred nearest, but just create. Okay, and images with cars. Okay, okay, I think that's it, right? And I'll just choose an ID password, so HJ123, and password is same. Create user. Okay, इंस्टा पे देखा है बॉडी बन गई है आपकी. थैंक्स यार. Okay, so guys, right now you can see it would ask for IP address, so you can simply click on add current IP address. Okay, so whatever is your IP address would be added directly here. Okay, so you can simply finish and close. Okay, so go to overview and you can see your database has been done. Okay, created. So you can simply go to your database and click on connect. You can simply go on compass and here you can see that we have this link. Okay, just copy this link. And now here in the backend env, I'm just gonna paste this link. Okay, just paste the link and here itself I'm gonna pass HJ123. So now this is our database and everything would be saved into this database. Okay, so now everything is fine. Now let's restart the backend. Okay, I'll restart the backend and let's see the magic. Okay, so I'll restart the backend. So it would definitely take some time to connect to the database. You can see it's connected. That means our URL is perfect. Okay, so now let's see how this works. Okay, so right now I'm gonna pass some details. So if I click on register, you can see user created successfully. If I go to the database, browse collections. So you from, okay, yes, I studied from that college. Okay, right. So you can see, guys, this data has been saved here. That means my MongoDB is also working fine. But what I would suggest is right now here you can add your backend. Suppose if I am hosting my backend on AWS, I would get some IP address from AWS. So you have to add that IP address, okay? Because this actually connects to your backend, okay? Not your laptop, it connects to your backend. Wherever is your backend, that IP address must be here. So I'll just say allow access from anywhere. That means any anywhere, wherever is your backend, this database can be accessed. Although it's not recommended, but if you have some IP address, suppose if you are hosting it on AWS, you get an IP address from there, you can add that IP address. But right now I'm just adding allow access from anywhere. Okay, that means any IP address can access this. That means if I am running my backend from my friend's laptop, I can still access this database. Okay, that's what I have said. So right now you can see this is a very important step. You just have to add that IP address on which your backend is running on. If you have some specific IP address, you have to add that, but right now I've said allow access from anywhere. Okay, so right now again you can see this is it, and if I browse collection, let me just create another user, then we'll get the users. Okay, so you can see this is another user, so I'll just say suppose this is HJ10 and I'll say age is 30 and I'll just say other name is this. Okay, register. Okay, and now guys, if I just refresh, you would get the data. Okay, so this is for register API. I just created a very basic register API, and you can see the user is be able to register. Similarly, you can see that here we have the get users. Okay, so get users. Similarly, we had the get users, so you can see it's giving us all the users. Okay, so I've just created a very basic project. I'll upload that on GitHub also, so you would take reference from this very basic project. But I hope you have your own projects and you are going to upload that. Okay, so now here you can see we created the get users page and I was calling this API. Okay, so I hope everybody understood the following structure of my front end and back end and can now relate to their own project. Okay, very basic project. Those who couldn't understand this, please watch my MERN 3x series. I have explained the complete projects. Okay, not this specific project. This is a very basic project, but I completed all projects like blog app, a fitness tracking application, and we also created movie booking application. So complete MERN stack applications. For hosting those applications, we are gonna follow this approach. Okay, so I hope now we have the front end as well as we have the back end. Now one important thing, you have to connect your GitHub account to your laptop. Okay, to your laptop, computer, whatever you are using. So let's do that. Okay, so first of all guys, you need one thing, that is git bash. Okay, so I'm just telling you the complete approach. Okay, nobody tells that how to set up things, but I'm telling you the complete approach. So you can see this is the git bash. It would allow you to use git commands. It is actually a GUI for using git commands. Okay, so right now you can see we are on Windows. Go for Windows. Okay, can go for anyone, but I think this is it. So 64-bit one. So once you download it, once you install it, what would actually happen is once you install it completely, what you have to do is you can simply go anywhere. Okay, you can simply go anywhere and you would get git bash there. Okay, for example, I would simply search for git bash here. So you would simply search for git bash anywhere. Okay, you just need to search for in the root directory, whatever is the directory. Okay, so you would see that it automatically shows me like this. Okay, I'm not talking about this folder, I'm just saying that on your Windows just search for git bash and then it would open here. Okay, so after installing git bash, after downloading and installing git bash setup, you would see something like this. Now we are going to connect GitHub to this first of all, because whatever code you have created, first of all you have to upload that code to GitHub. Then automatically that GitHub code must be pushed to your front end hosted link and also to your backend hosted link. That's why I'm telling you GitHub, because for example, I just uploaded the code to GitHub. Automatically that code must be pushed forward to your whatever working website you are on. Okay, so we'll do that. Okay, so I'll just come back here and I'll just simply say we have git SSH connection. Okay, so I'll just type this. We have actually got a documentation. Actually it's GitHub SSH, so you can simply visit this link. Okay, you can simply visit this link and this is available forever. Okay, so what you have to do is, first of all guys, you must have a GitHub account. So just create a GitHub account, whatever is your GitHub account. So I have already created a GitHub account. This is my GitHub account, and you can follow me here and you can check out my other repositories too. You can check out my other projects. So you have to create a GitHub account. First of all, you must have a GitHub account. Now just know the email of this GitHub account. Okay, so I'll check the email. And one more thing, okay, let's say you have logged in from your GitHub account and you want to connect your GitHub account first time to your laptop. So for that, what you can do, you can simply go here and go to settings. In the settings, you have to look for SSH keys. Never show your SSH keys to anyone, but I'm showing you because this is a tutorial. Never show these keys to anyone. Okay, right now I'm going to delete this. So if accidentally you see my keys, you can't still use that because I've deleted it. Okay, so you can see initially you would see something like this. That means no laptop, no key is there. Okay, so you have to generate a new SSH key. But first of all, your key would be generated from your computer. Then you have to add your SSH key here. That's how things work. Okay, so that's how this document shows how to do things. So here you can see see we have generating a new SSH key. So here we have an option generating a new SSH key. So you can see it's showing us some options. So you just have to follow the same approach. Okay, so I'll show you this, and you just have to paste it. Okay, and you just have to add your email. Okay, so you don't need to understand anything, you just need to follow the steps. Okay, these are some commands which allow you to generate SSH key. So I'll just type my email, whatever is the email. I think this was the email .csi.20. Okay, fine. I think this was my email. Okay, yes. So although I'm using my college email because it has some benefits. Okay, so this was my college email. I've added it 2 3 years ago, I think. So you can see we have enter file in which you want to save. I'll just hit enter. Okay, and if previously something exists, it would overwrite. So I'll just type y. Okay, and just enter, and you can see my SSH is generated. Okay, everything is generated. Now this is the first step. Now after that, you can see we have this command. Okay, so just copy this and just paste it here. Okay, so you can see we got some PID. Okay, so now you can see after this we generated the key. Okay, we got the passphrase. Now after that you have to simply go here. Okay, and you have the option to just copy things. Okay, just copy things. So I'll just copy this and I have to paste this command. Okay, this would allow me to copy my SSH key. Okay, if I hit this, now my SSH key is copied. Okay, so now since my SSH key is copied, now I would simply go here, new SSH key, simply paste the key. So you can see automatically my key would be copied from the terminal and you have to paste it here. Okay, so I'll just type my laptop name so that I know that this laptop has this key. Okay, now if I click this add new SSH, so you just need to, okay, I think I have to use my phone for this, or use your password. Okay, I'll use my password. Okay, fine. So now it would add things. So you can see my SSH key is now added. Once you add your SSH key, now you can directly upload your code to your GitHub repository. Okay, this was the basic connection of GitHub to your laptop. Now this is fine. Now I'm going to create a fresh repository for frontend and backend. Okay, so what you have to do is simply go to your repositories, new, and here I'll just type test CRUD. Okay, so I'll just type underscore frontend. Okay, I'll just upload my front end code here. So create repo, and what you have to do guys is now simply copy this, just simply copy this. I hope some people know how to upload code from git to github, sorry, from your normal laptop computer to github. Okay, but if you don't know, then this is a very basic approach. Just copy this, and now what you have to do is simply go to your VS code where your backend and front end was there. So I'll just open my front end. You can see this is my front end. Okay, this is my front end. So in the front end I'm just going to paste my git commands. Okay, make sure first of all git bash is installed, because without that git commands won't work. Okay, so you can see in my normal VS code terminal I can still run the commands, but first of all git bash must be installed on your computer. Okay, so now you can see that I simply want to upload things. So you can ignore different files. For example, here itself, one more thing is recommended. Create a new file, okay, named as .git ignore. Okay, one more thing is recommended. Actually, we already have this git ignore file. So you can see it's ignoring node modules folder. Similarly, I am going to ignore one more file, that is what .env.local. Okay, I'm also going to ignore this because I don't want to share it to my GitHub repository. That means nobody can see this from my GitHub repository. Okay, so I just simply said that don't upload the env local. Okay, rest everything would be uploaded. So you can see all the files here won't be uploaded. Okay, except that all files would be uploaded. Okay, so you can see that's it. Now I'm simply going to say dot. Okay, first of all I'm just going to upload the git ignore so that all issues are avoided. By the way, you can just directly type things, but .git ignore. Okay, so first of all I've uploaded the git ignore file, then I would upload everything. Okay, now guys, here you can simply type your commit message, and here I'm just going to say now upload everything. So it would also upload git ignore file, but whatever files are mentioned inside git ignore file won't be uploaded. That means env local won't be uploaded, node modules won't be uploaded. Okay, I hope this is fine. So now let's test this. So if I hit this, okay, so now if I hit this, so you can see guys, now first of all my front end is available. So if I just refresh, you can see my front end code is uploaded. Okay, similarly you have to follow the same approach for the backend. So what I'm going to do is again create a new repo, and you can simply create a new repository from here. So I'll just say test crud underscore backend. Okay, so I'm also going to upload backend. My backend is in Node.js. Okay, so yes, I think the name is fine. So if I click on create repository, and you would get this. Okay, so again you can copy this, and again you have to first of all ignore the env. Okay, so I'll ignore the env. So again I'll just go to my backend. So you can see this is my backend. Okay, this is my backend. So I'll simply close this, and I'm simply going to paste this, and here guys you have to simply say that in your backend first of all you must have a gitignore file. Okay, so I'll create a gitignore file dot gitignore, and inside this you have to simply pass .env. Okay, .env. Okay, so if I pass .env, that means I don't want to upload the .env file. Okay, so you can see .env is also in root, and .gitignore is also in root, so you can see it would check this. Okay, so .env file, whatever is inside .env file and along with the .env file won't be uploaded to my GitHub repository. Okay, that's very important. You never share your env files. Fine. So now since I have added this, so I'll just type git add dot git ignore. Okay, so first of all I'm uploading my gitignore file. Okay, then I'm going to upload my complete source, because sometimes what happens is gitignore file isn't uploaded properly and the things get messed up. That's why I first of all make sure gitignore file is uploaded. Now I'm simply going to say just upload everything. That means all files except env now would be uploaded. Okay, so you can see now everything is uploaded, and by mistaken I've uploaded the node modules. What you have to do is you can also mention node modules here. Okay, so you can simply say node modules. Okay, you have to mention node modules also. Okay, so don't forget that, because node modules must also not be uploaded, because this is a very big file. Okay, so anyone who is getting your source code would have to download so much data. That's why. Okay, so from next time just add this also, then after that you can continue. Okay, so now you can see this is done. This is done. Okay, so now I'll show you my backend. So if I refresh, you can see guys, right now we have all the files except the .env in the backend. Similarly for the front end, we didn't had the env files and the node module files. Okay, fine. So now we have the backend, we have the front end host available on GitHub, not hosted, available on GitHub. Just a minute, guys. Okay, so now let's continue. Right. So now you can see that we have the front end as well as the back end here. Okay, front end as well as the backend. Now I'm going to show you how to host these for free. So let's first of all let's upload the backend. So for that guys, you have to simply visit the website named as cyclic.sh. Okay, here you just have to connect your GitHub. Okay, so just click on login, and this is totally free. Okay, totally free. Just go here, and you can see that here I already have two projects. So we have a limit in this. If you are using things for free, definitely we have some limitations. So maximum 3 projects can be available. That means maximum 3 backend of Node.js can be uploaded here. Okay, first thing. So if I simply click on deploy now, instead of this you can use other services also. You can use AWS also, but for that you have to add your credit card, and that's a very long process. But for beginners who don't want to struggle that much, they can follow this. So just go here, I've created it. You can simply click on link your own. Okay, so you can see that I am logged in with my GitHub account, so automatically I would get all my GitHub repositories. You can see I'm getting all my GitHub repositories. So I want to host my backend here. Simply click on this. Now you can see connect cyclic. So you can see it's connecting. After that you have to add your env variables. Okay, so whatever are your env variables, you also have to add to your backend. A lot of people actually miss this part. That's how their backend is not working. Winky, he's laughing. Actually that was my little sister, so just ignore that. Okay. Okay guys, so you can see my backend is hosted, but the problem is I haven't added my env variables. That means my Mongo URL is missing, and also my DB name is missing, because obviously you have to add your env variables. So what you have to do is simply click here, or you can simply first of all go to the dashboard. Now suppose you are in dashboard, you forgot to add your env variables. That's totally fine. Okay, that's totally fine. Still you can add your env variables. How you can add your env variables? Simply go to variables, and right now guys you can see we have Mongo URL which is empty. We have DB name which is empty. Here you just have to paste your links. That's it. Okay, so now I'll go here, and this is my backend. Okay, so from backend env, just copy this. Okay, just copy this, and I would simply click on bulk. Okay, just click on bulk. Actually, okay, I'll just paste things directly. Okay, so you just have to paste it like this. Okay, and guys, remember one thing, it must not have spaces. Okay, so you can see right now we have spaces. Never just add some spaces, because in a lot of backend services, wherever you are hosting, the spaces are considered something. Okay, that's why just remove all the spaces wherever possible in the env. Okay, so you can see it does not have any spaces, and you can see now. Let's just save this. If you just save this, now you can simply go on logs, and you can see it's listening. Now it would take some time. Okay, so you can actually redeploy. What you can do is you can simply go on deployments details, and you can click on redeploy. Okay, so it would take some time, then it would be deployed. Okay, since you have updated your env variable, so I would ask you to redeploy. Okay, that's it. But it's still I think without redeploying also it would work properly, but that's how you redeploy. Okay, whenever you make a change. Okay, so you can see it's redeployed. Now you can simply go on logs, and guys, you can see right now you don't see anything, but you get a url from here. So I'll just copy this url, and that's where my backend is hosted. And the benefit of this cyclic.sh is my backend is hosted on HTTPS, not HTTP. So you can add this to any front end page. Okay, so you can see my backend is working properly. If I call the API of user, okay, so user slash get users. Okay, I think this was the API. Okay, no, this wasn't the API. Actually, this was the API to get all users. Okay, so let's hit this. Let me just check. So you can see I'm getting the result. Okay, so my backend is hosted in this URL. If I share you this in the live chat, you can still use this. Okay, so I hope now you know how to host backend. You might have different scenarios, but this is a very basic scenario where you have a MongoDB URL and you've just connected it and you are uploading it. Okay, hi Sagar. So my backend is working. Now let's upload the front end. So for front end, we have a similar approach, but we are going to use Vercel. Okay, so Vercel is specifically for React.js or Next.js. If you are using that, then you can use Vercel. Okay, so you just have to visit vercel.com, and I'll just log out and I'll just show you how it exactly works. So you can see, you would see a page something like this. Simply go to GitHub, connect your GitHub. GitHub is everything. Okay, that's why you can upload your code to GitHub, and next time whenever you upload your code to GitHub, automatically things would be updated in your backend as well as in the front end. Okay, you don't need to update things again and again on your own in these websites. Once you upload your code on your GitHub, automatically things would be updated here. Okay, I'll show you how things work. Right now, if I click on add new, you can see, by the way, these are all my projects. I host everything here for free. Okay, so it's very great and it's too fast. Okay, trust me, it's fast. And if I click on this, you can go to project music buff. Hello music buff. Here you can see we have an front end, okay, which we uploaded just now. So test CRUD front end. So if I simply click on import, it will automatically identify this is a Next.js application. But if you have these kind of front end things, you can definitely upload it. Okay, so it all supports Angular also, Astro also, anything which you are using, but I'm using Next.js. Okay, so now if I simply click on deploy, now if there are any issues, it would be shown in the build. Okay, so let's see if we have any issues. Then if we don't have any issues, then that's great, because you might see some issues here. If in future you are uploading things, you might see some issues here. So you just have to target that specific file. It will tell you that in this file this is missing, so you can use ChatGPT along with it to check the issue, to solve your query. It's very easy. You just need to use ChatGPT to solve your errors. Okay, so I usually use it. So right now you can see it's almost done, and I think there are no errors here, but sometimes you might see an error. Okay, so for that, what you can do is you can use ChatGPT and you can paste your front end code, whatever file this error is targeting to, along with it. Okay, so you can properly use ChatGPT to target the errors. So you can see my front end is also hosted. Okay, so if I go to dashboard, so guys, you can see that my front end is also hosted. Okay, but what you have to do is simply go on settings, and here you can go to environment variables. Guys, here you have to add your backend URL. Okay, here you have to add your backend URL. Right now I haven't added my backend URL, right? So let's see what happens without backend URL. Let's see. Okay, so if I go here and if I show you the get users page where we were getting all the users. Okay, so get users. So if I inspect, And if I show you the console, so you can see failed to load the server. That means my backend couldn't connect. Why couldn't connect? Because we haven't added the backend URL. So we have to add the backend URL where? Just go to settings, environment variables. Here you have to add your backend URL. Your frontend wants to connect to backend. Okay, that's why. So I'll just simply say what was my backend name. So you can simply go to your frontend and env local. Here we had the backend URL. Okay, this is the backend URL. So I'll just simply first of all copy this variable name. Now we just hosted the backend URL inside this. Okay, so this was actually our new backend URL. So we just have to save this. Okay, so now we are going to paste it. Okay, what are we learning today? We are actually hosting Node.js application in the Cyclic, that means for free, and similarly we are hosting Next.js or React.js applications front end into Varsel.com. That means you are hosting the complete Merge project for free. Okay, so here you can see now I have added my backend URL to my front end. Okay, now I simply click on save. Saved, so you can see environment variable has been added successfully. So you can see this is the environment variable which we added just now. You can see that also. Okay, and let me just double check. I think we have to edit this. Guys, make sure you don't add this extra slash here. Just remove this. Okay, just save this now. It's fine, it's fine. Okay, so now if I go to deployments, everything is fine. Now let me just try to get users. If I just refresh, you can see that it's not found. Okay, it's not found because it's showing me undefined. Okay, it's showing me undefined. Let me just check what's the exact issue. I think I have to um redeploy. Okay, I think I have to redeploy, then it might work properly. Okay, so I have simply go on deployments, then I would simply redeploy. Okay, and then it would take a few more minutes to redeploy. So you can see now it's ready. So if I visit this, so it would be here. Now let's go to get users, and if I inspect console unable to fetch. Okay, so now right now you can see that we don't have access to use this backend. Why don't we have this access? So remember one thing, we were using course. Okay, so inside course we have actually mentioned only localhost 3000 frontend can access this backend. So you can see my front end is where? My front end is now in this URL. Okay, so you have to actually add this URL. Okay, you actually have to add this URL for the course policy. You mostly get these issues because course is important. Okay, so you can simply copy this, just copy this, and what you have to do guys is right now just go to your code again, and we would simply go to our backend. Okay, in the backend we would simply say, okay, in index.js we would simply say this was the front end URL locally, right? But now we have hosted it somewhere. So I would just add it here. That's it. Okay. So you're just going to add it here and just remove the extra slash. So you can see now this front end is also allowed to access the backend first of all. So first thing is, and now you have to upload this backend. Okay. So you would simply type in your backend terminal, you would simply type git add dot and git commit m. Suppose if I type second, okay, suppose this is the second, and if I get push. Okay, so now first of all my backend would be uploaded into my GitHub repository. Let me just check my GitHub repository. So guys, you can see if I just refresh, my backend would be just now updated. You can see it's updated right now. Okay, so now it has what? If you go here, simply go to index.js. So you can see it has what? It also has my backend URL. It also has my backend URL. That means till now we are fine here. Now automatically your backend, you can see if you go to deployments, automatically just now my backend is re-uploaded. Okay, so I didn't do anything in Cyclic. Automatically whenever you upload things on GitHub, automatically it would be uploaded here. Okay, so it's auto upload from cyclic. Okay, so you don't need to worry about it again and again. When you upload your code to GitHub, automatically it would be uploaded here. Fine. So now if I go to logs, okay, let's see how it works. So you can see now this was the previous issue. Now let's check how it works. So if I again refresh, so guys, now you can see it's working properly. Okay, so I hope you got the flow, how to connect things properly, how to give permissions, and you can see this is my backend. And now let's try to add a user. So for adding a user, I created the register page. Okay, right? So I created the register page, reg. I don't know why I always write the wrong spelling. Okay, so register. And now let's click on register. So I would simply add my details. So I'll just say user1. Okay, just now I'll add things. And suppose this is the user. So I'll just say hj123@gmail.com. Okay, and age is suppose 12 saal. Okay, and password is hj123. Okay, now if I click on register, so you can see user registered successfully. Okay, so this is running on some platform. Okay, this is not your local computer, local, it's some platform. Okay, if I share you this URL, you can also access this. Okay, so I'll just share you this URL. Okay, in the live chat you can check this URL, you can access this URL now. Okay, so now if I go back to my database also, guys, so if I go to database and if I refresh, can see it's working properly. Okay, you can see it's working properly. Just now we registered this user. Okay, so now if I show you all my users, so for that what you can do is you can simply type get users. So you can see we are getting all the users. Okay, similarly in the backend also, whenever we made change in the GitHub repository of the backend, automatically cyclic.sh redeployed the application. Similarly guys, it also happens with Vercel. If you are updating your front-end code, okay, if you are updating your front-end code, then automatically in your GitHub, if your front-end code is updated, okay, whenever you push your code to GitHub, automatically Vercel would take the changes, automatically code would be deployed from here also. You don't need to do anything here now. Okay, unless you receive some build issues. Okay, whatever are the issues, suppose if you go to here, if you receive some page like this, you would see whatever are the issues in the build, you would receive here. Okay, you would receive here. Right now you can see everything is fine, that means all things are good. Okay, so guys, I hope you understood how to completely host your front end as well as the backend. So we hosted our backend for free here. Make sure you might use some different service. We use cyclic.sh to host our backend for free. You might use some other platform. Make sure it has HTTPS, because HTTP is not supported by the front end wherever you are hosting your front end. Okay, so both must have HTTPS. This is known as secure deployment, and it's supported. Okay, it's only supported. That means most browsers don't support HTTP URLs, so you have to use HTTPS, okay, for the complete connection. Okay, so that's why I told you use cyclic.sh, the easiest thing, right? So guys, I hope you understood the complete front end as well as the backend setup, how to upload code to GitHub. I also told you that, and how to upload that into the front end Vercel.com and the backend in cyclic.sh. Okay, so that's it for today guys, and we also completed a lot projects. One more thing is you can check out the description for a link provided by Geeks4Geeks. That's a course provided by Geeks4Geeks. If you want to learn complete MERN stack, you can check out that course. And also you can check out my GitHub profile. Okay, all the projects are available here. If you want to see some MERN stack projects, you can check out this. You can follow me here, and also you can check out my Instagram profile and my LinkedIn profile. Go to the repositories, and this link is available in the description. Okay, you can check out my profile. The code is also available for today if you want to know what code did I upload. By the way, it's something separate for this video. Okay, this video only talks about how to upload that code, and I haven't shown you how to create this. Okay, because if you know MERN stack development, then you can definitely create this easily. Okay, so you can check out my repository. And one more thing guys, I have shared you a form. I'll share that in the comment section also later on when we end this video. What you have to do is you just have to fill that form. I'll just show you that Google form, and here you can upload all of your projects. Okay, I'll just share you that form. Okay, so here you can upload all your projects, okay, one by one. For example, this is for one single project, so you just have to add your details, then front end, back end, and if you have admin, you can add the repository link for GitHub. Okay, then what you have to do is you have to add your hosted link. Okay, hosted link, like today we hosted on Vercel and Cyclic, so you have to add those links. Okay, so that's how you have to add your links, and this is for one single project. If you want to showcase your multiple projects, you can add your multiple projects. Okay, once we have some submissions, what we're gonna do is, if we get good response in this form, so we are gonna create a specific session reviewing all your projects and giving you a shout out. Okay, so I'll just share you this in the comment section. You'll receive that in the comment section when we end this video, so you can fill this form anytime you want. Okay guys, so that's it for today. I hope you understood this video, and I will see you with some next series. Okay, so MERN 3x has ended. I'll just share you the repository. I'll just share you the playlist also. So you just have to visit Geeks4Geeks development channel. Here you can simply go on playlist. Here guys, you can see we have 3x dev series. Okay, so we completed all these projects. 3 projects were completed in around 20 days, and this is some extra day for how to deploy things for free. Okay, so I hope you were watching this, and if you haven't, you can watch this complete series if you want to get some good level projects. Okay, so that's it for today guys. You can check out the Geeks4Geeks development channel, and I will see you in the next one. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Till then, have a good day. Bye bye.